that item and go straight into our keynote address before. Okay. Oh, okay, Kathy, young women, fire. You say you skip, we put you right there, baby, right there. Young women, she's a representative. In fact, she is the advocacy officer of HURISA, Human Rights Institute of South Africa, and it is through this collaboration as you're coming forth. We are not skipping you. Definitely not. Let's give it up for Kathy. Kathy, we want to hear that with that voice.
Okay, good evening. Bonsoir à tous. En tout cas, je suis très contente. My name is Kathy from the Human Rights Institute of South Africa. And today I'm really honored to be on this platform, and especially to see the youth. Because the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, it's all about leaving no one behind. And I am glad that today we have created this platform where the youth, we've heard from the youth. I had a personal encounter with most of them, and I was very surprised with the work that they have been doing at grassroots level that we did not know about. So such platform, it actually amplifies voices from the ground, and I actually welcome them. And like I told you previously, keep doing what you are doing. The work that you're doing, most of you don't know that you are peace builders, you are peacemakers, you are mediators, but then you have been doing a very good job at grassroots level, especially with with less visibility. So it's not an easy journey, but then what we want at the end of the day is to see equality, because we have been fighting against inequality. We want women to feel safe. We want women to have platforms, all kinds of platforms that enables them to amplify their voices, because we cannot speak of women without women. Yeah. So once again, on behalf of the Human Rights Institute of South Africa, we welcome you and we look forward to a very interesting event. Thank you.
The table is white. Thank you so much. Without any further ado, I'm going to call upon our keynote address, looking at the role of young women in implementing the Women, Peace and Security Agenda. Her Excellency Maite Gwanamashabane, Minister of Women, Youth and Persons with Disability, who co-led the launching of the NEP last year together with Department of Defense and also Department of International Relations. And you also remember that she was part of it.
call Sawit. I feel like it's my birthday today. When I left the house, my mother was chasing me. My mother is 80 something. She was saying, "You're getting late. Get out." And the storm came. I had to change the dress. Now I'm envious of saying, with her evening dress, and me in my woolen, I don't know what. But maybe it was meant to be. Then we arrived here at Ice and what? And me and ice water don't go together. So I'm like, can I have some tea or coffee? They're like, here, no. Here we serve cold water in ice. So, but then I look around, I see familiar faces. I see faces I love. I see people who say, she's mine. And the other one turns around the other way, it's mine. She's mine. She's mine. And I was like, Maite, you are home. And I would never have asked for a better afternoon or evening than this. May Dieketseng Diale, Executive Director of Lady of Peace Community Foundation and our Program Director, and mine, Professor Cheryl Hendricks. Yeah, I was like, I was sitting with you, so where are you sitting? Executive Director of the Institute of Justice and Reconciliation. Your Excellency, Ambassador Fanala of Ireland. I hope I'm pronouncing your name well. Your Excellency, Ambassador Han Peters, Ambassador of the Netherlands, a non-toxic gentleman. Here we are taking gender-based violence and femicide very, very serious. So when we see gentlemen like you, we get really quite happy. Because now I've even gone into watching how you walk. So this one is doing it for the show. But I could see that you are really very, very comfortable, and it's not the first time that you are amongst so many women. Your Excellency, Miss Aleta Miller, UN and Women. Good evening, neighbor. Miss Ntabiseng Melufane Waka. Director of the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, Miss Colette Lejwane, representative of Human Rights Institute of South Africa. There was, why am I not seeing a wave from the institute? Is it somebody else? Okay. There was also a very nice voice here representing the institute, but it was not the one I'm reading now. Yeah. But nevertheless, welcome. May Togo Mbumlam from the South African Women in Dialogue, Sawit. Well, when Sawit started, we were much older than you, but we thought we were young. Yeah. But looking at you now, and because we were sitting there and feeling like we are part of this thing, but they were so assertive and making sure that we walk straight. But We felt as long as they're not chasing us out of the room, we are here. But by the way, I don't know, you're not going to get an opportunity maybe to speak. If you are, you're going to tell me the story the way you know it. So it started because of Ma Zamelenberg. She's not here. Because the women from the Congo, the DRC, first came, there was war in the DRC. And then there was to be negotiation. Mandela was still alive. So men kept coming, but there were no women. So women of South Africa started asking, but where are the women? You want peace for who? Because from experience, I mean from our households, we know men cannot make peace alone. So where are the people who are going to keep peace? Who know how to make peace? But we didn't say it in such a harsh manner that I'm saying it now. Then women started arriving from the Congo. But one day, Mayor Zanelenberg said, hey, we must not forget that here we are a very young country, and we have gone through an extremely violent past. And we've never sat back to deal with the healing of ourselves. That movement has never really happened. And we are now almost 29 years old. Yeah, we have 29. 29 years later, we have already experienced COVID-19. Going through that space of COVID made one feel there was no time to do the things African people like doing, coming together, waiting together because so much has passed on. There was no time. It was the time of COVID-19. So we had not, it was not a very long time since we got our freedom, since we got our, those who don't know, new South Africa. No, I refuse, real South Africa. Now we've survived another calamity or another epidemic called COVID-19. But that's why we are stuck as a nation in some people who don't know, they say another pandemic, gender-based violence and femicide. It's refusing to go because we never give ourselves time to heal. I am giving this pretty young things, beautiful but determined to build a real South Africa and a real neighborhood and a real SADC. And I hear that we also have in the room, we have representatives from 43 countries. Wow. There is no time to do something before you start living. So if you start young to want to make peace, to become a peacemaker, not a peace lover. A peace lover takes a backseat and waits for somebody to deliver peace. But a peacemaker goes where it's not nice and ask difficult questions, not to make life difficult for those who are already feeling difficult, but to make people feel good, to make peace so that people can live in peace. So, women, there's one who's 15 years old. May you please rise? I'm not paying You may take your seat, Your Excellency.
Yes.
I go to a disco, I'm sure, to want to get your hands dirty in this neighborhood, but it takes a blessing, I think, equally, because it's going to take you a lifetime. Don't think you are here and you'll be gone soon. This is a life calling. And that's why we are congratulating you. The world would be a better place for all of us if internationally we all stand up for justice and ensure that the presence transforms any space we find, all of us, into a peaceful space. But no, things are not like that. I want to say that I really feel honored to be amongst you and share and see the things that they say you can do, and see old faces also, including that of Major. People don't know how she did the, was it Hopple? It's because Gangs of South Africa, there is a woman in this country, she is 93 years old now. Her name is Gertrude Chopin. When I was still a minister in International Relations and Cooperation, I looked at her. When she turned 8, she said, what kind of a gift do I give my Chopin? I went to see her. I bought her the nicest, that which I consider nice, you know, passing by the airport in Dubai. You know that Maria Carrera something, shoe, perfume. Then I went to give her. Then I looked at her. She said, Manaka, but on my way back, I actually went with my mother. I looked at her and said, I don't think she deserves this. Then I went back, and that's when Derko. I shared this with some of the young, now no longer young, okay, the ones that see their faces. This woman we went to say happy birthday to went for peace all her life. She's gone even to live in Angola when South Africa was not free, and she's back. And yes, the perfume didn't make her happy. What can we think of that can make her feel she is remembered for who she is? How else and who do you ask if you don't find Mandek? She said, good idea, but also I thought we need a program director to launch this. A program director would understand what we're doing. She said, go again, Miss Viwe, Mapisa, Nagula. So the launch was at Gertrude Chopin Peace Initiative was launched in Derko. I hear her birthday doesn't go by, and she doesn't wheel herself if we don't send a car to go to Derko because it's her birthday. Bring some with you when you achieve this. I thought of another grandmother that I had never had an opportunity to meet. But when I came back, I was like, I'm from ambassador. A Everybody's talking about Charlotte Mateka Hospital, Charlotte this, that. I thought, okay. Because me and patriarchy don't like each other. But nobody is saying she is Charlotte Wahaman. Charlotte, I found she is Charlotte Manya, but now before she becomes Manya, she is Mahomu. Her real name is Charlotte Mahomu Manya Wabutokwa Mateke. So when I looked at Make Gertrude shopping, I'm like, not too many people know that she knows where Mamedwa is. I'm not going to bore you tonight with history because these young people don't want to listen to storytelling.
We do.
But May Charlotte. So I said to the young people around Zebul one day, I want to go to her home. I did not know she came from Butokwa. So no, they took me to an academy she started in a municipality here in Gauteng, which was okay. Academy. She came back. She was the first, after 150 years, first black female PhD graduate. That was long time forgotten. Listen to what she would have said 150 years ago. Leave the spirit of self behind. Live amongst your people. And if you can, take one or two and lift them up with you. What do my shopper say? Mate, tell my grandchildren that we fought for freedom. We fought for a South Africa, a real South Africa. This is what we did with our lives, and we are handing over that to them. So, when you grow older, you must also be able to say to your grandchildren, I found this South Africa, this African piece of land, this neighborhood, be it in Uganda and whatever, in this manner, and this is what I did to turn it around, and this is what I'm handing it over to you. I am personally feeling, you know, this thing of naming things after the hospitals and roads and this and that after our women, after our women fighters, after our women peacemakers in a day.
Yeah.
This makes me feel so ashamed. But what makes me feel great is that young women are not sitting back. They are fighting it up on their feet. So, like you do, if I meet some of them tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I'll say, I had dinner with the winners of this cause that we are fighting. Please do not stop here. Keep going. Someday we will have fully, if it's not by 2030, because I think 2030 is too around the corner, UN said so, but we will not stop. We will not stop fighting gender-based violence and femicide, not in the 16 days of the activism, not in 2030, but as long as we are alive. As long as you came and put the vavum again on us to say, we should say to you, we are here to support you. Luckily, there are many other men who are coming up and saying to us, we are here to help you find these scallops. Yeah. So the alliance is growing. And remember, this is in your name. It's your cause. It is the route you have chosen. In March 2021, you had passed a national action plan of women, besides the others that we had to have as South Africa. Participation with the national action plan, with 4 pillars of participation, prevention, protection, relief, and recovery. Let's have tools to fight gender-based violence. In this country, we've just had the second summit led by the president, but that's not enough. Post-summit, there should be real action. And seeing you, I can now see that indeed we will have the real thing that we need and we want. We are going to build together because you are here. We are your Umamulana. We are the Soweto of yesterday. You are the future. We are all together building peace. Here we are. I thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Minister. Let us proceed with our program. And when we are talking about things of the past, and we get too excited. Volume, yeah, volume. There's language here that we use as the youth. When we're getting excited, Ministers, you're saying we must pompella you. You know, so whenever they say volume, so the volume increases. Yeah, the volume of excitement, the volume of peace-building chants. Yeah, goes. Yeah, of women. Yeah. So thank you so much. And you know, in our midst here, we do have Ambassador Mahonjo from Namibia. And she also heads the International Women Peace Center. And I know earlier we did acknowledge some of the guests that were here, so we need to, now that we are full house, we need to acknowledge all the countries that are here in South Africa. The Halala Women Peace Building, Halala! Halala! Hey, Maibuye! Maibuye le peace! Thank you, sir. In Africa, yes. So we are now going to get into the issues of issues. Please take a seat, relax, and now get to know who are these young women peace builders that we sought for around the country of South Africa. Are you ready? Please, let us enjoy the video.
Judges nominated from the best in the country. Now, we check them out. These are your nominees for the Young Women Peace Builders Awards 2022.
What inspired me to start my journey in peace building it relates to the context in which I grew up in. So I grew up in a rural village in Limpopo in South Africa, and that exposed me to the realities of poverty, insecurity, and inequality. And as a young woman growing up in such a space, those realities were very much likely to impact me as a young girl. There's even a saying in our community where they say, if you actually don't fall pregnant by the time you leave high school, you are absolutely lucky. Being a peace builder to me means acknowledging the insecurity and peace issues that exist in my community and choosing to actively take steps, whether it's engaging in any sort of programming or engaging our leaders in terms of reforming decisions that they've made to see the kind of change that we want to see at our own communities.
What inspired me to start peace building is because I'm generally a person that's interested in human behavior and also on human emotions and why people respond the way that they do to certain situations and why different people will react differently to the same situation. So I took it further by studying psychology, and as part of my psychology assignment, I saw a gap on how I can practice my interest in helping other people and to also help the community. What I find that a lot of people struggle with is understanding themselves, self-identity, and understanding their emotions and understanding people's emotions. And also a lot of people struggle to also understand that we are diverse individuals and therefore they are unable to handle conflict and also being unable to deal with socio-economic challenges that they are facing and how to find themselves in whatever situation that they're experiencing.
The community that which I am from and the observations that I made from peers and also the general people that were around me. I come from Ratanda and a small development, maybe it's Extension 7, and it was a new development when we got there as a family. And I must say it was quite impoverished, you know. We had one primary school. The school was made up of containers. Most of the kids in the school depended on the school's feeding scheme. There was no recreational parks. There was no recreational activity. And I felt the grooming of those kids then resulted, there was a big thing with gangs in that community. And it was young people who were involved in those gang fights, and they would kill each other, stab each other, things like that. And that emanated from the fact that there was nothing that inspired them out of that.
Being a graduate in public administration and management with the University of South Africa, you understand that it's unfortunate that the level of unemployment that is here, even for graduates, it's very hard to get employment. So now I couldn't sit at home with all the skills that I have and this energy that I have and just sit and do nothing. So I decided to approach one of the offices of government, which is a local government in this instance, the councillor's office, which is Ward 41. And then I remember, it was a previous councillor back then, I remember walking here telling him, listen, I have this qualification that the offices run on a day-to-day basis, because I understand the types of issues that are surrounding, that we have in this community.
So what inspired me to start peace building was when I entered the literature space at such a young age after I published my first book titled Smelly Cats, and even before that I began my public speaking journey where I spoke to over 1,000 matriculants about what I planned to do and who I was at the time. So having that experience, going around, seeing many children, both my or in order for me to explain what peace building is, I need to just give you my understanding of what peace is. And while I was sitting here, I was sort of just browsing everything through my head, thinking about what peace means for me, because I live, I could say, quite a peaceful life. Nothing too disruptive ever happened. So I think peace for me is something that has to do with comfort and routine. And so peace building, someone who is a peace builder, routine and comfortability for people who just live unstable lives.
The year is 2018. When I started, I wrote a book called Being Refined, The Seed of Hope. And many young people in my community read it. And Tubama Fukumanyala, he's first a young man who read my book and asked me to mentor him. So after he asked me to mentor him, I joined with him. That time he was at University of Technology in Pretoria. And I started mentoring him and living together. If we look at gender-based violence, it's people struggling to live together. It's people who had experiences, people, we always look at someone who has, someone who has killed, maybe like someone has killed a woman. We always look at them, but we never look at them. We have such a curriculum where children can have a space where they heal, a curriculum where children can have a space to be equipped, to be young leaders who will be responsible, young leaders who will be able to live with other people. It is possible for us to have such a curriculum. So that was my inspiration. As an organization, ending gender-based violence. Sibukile emphakathini wethu ukuthi kunenkinga enkulu ngodlame kubantu besifazane, kunendawo kuthiwa i-CTM sport grounds, kuvamise ukutholakala imizimba yabantu besifazane beshisiwe, bedlenguliwe, base belahlwa kunenkinga ongakanani nokuthi ezimatshe ezironke senzani suma senze ngayo. So ezo sikhona siyafundisa abantu ukuthi abangathuli.
My journey, I'd say, started when I was a young girl, discovering my mom entered me to a pageant, and in that pageant, when you win, you got the opportunity of acting, taking key roles in the society and acting as a leader. As young as I was, in impacting the society, and that's where I found that was my mandate, that was my fair share of contribution to humanity, doing what I can do.
Well, firstly, it's something that has a very vast background. So my mother is an activist, and she exposed me to activism, but I didn't stop there. It's not as simple as just seeing somebody doing the work and attending and, oh, I'm an activist. No, it's actually when I stepped out and I saw that there is an actual need for intervention, and I felt actually help make a difference. And since COVID has started, our soup kitchen is still running. So I would say that peace building is building our community into something we are free, something where people experience.
I had to bring it back to the home, because that is where it'll start. So that's basically how it started, with my own community, where I was inspired to say that, hey, what can I do as a young person? And I started from there. I did advocacy work for about 12 years. before I ended up becoming staff member at NEC.
Our community, part of our tradition, and that really long determination to promote a shared sense of humanity. I was part of the hashtag Total Shutdown, Intersectional Women's March, that came together in June 2018 to galvanize for national support on gender-based violence and femicide. So that we needed to know that, this was a pandemic in itself. And then we had 27 marches on August 1st, 2018, which marked Women's Month. In style, really, because what we wanted to say was that we can't be celebrating Women's Month in a country like South Africa, where every minute someone is dying. Get people to the union buildings, to the president, to hand over 24 demands memorandum. And these were really detailed plans to say, this is how you can eradicate gender-based violence and femicide. And this was us really just doing the work for government to say, we know the issues and we have the solutions. And then the president came and took those demands at night. We had been at the union building the whole day. A national plan on gender-based violence and femicide.
My name is Stacey. I'm a young woman peace builder,
and I thrive for peace building in my community.
Hey, wow. Nazoke. Ha, the drum is about to drum. Hey, okay, let me not spoil the fun. Okay, and Nikita, I'm going to ask very nicely. First, let me apologize for the glitches, man. Technology, podcast sometimes. Technology can really not play along with us. So I'm going to humbly request the minister once again to take up to the podium, as well as Mam Togo from Sawit. We've heard most of Mam Togo is the chair of Sawit, to come and do the awards. So I'm going to call all the finalists now. The moment of truth. Hey, volume, where is the volume going now? Huh? So let me call in alphabetical order. We all have our catalogs, right? Yeah. Hey, these people, they're organized, man. Let's call the first candidate, Amber Julius. I know she's here. Amber. Yes. And then the next is Bridget Moema. And then Caroline Bukwana. Jubilee Ribombo. Karabo Mokonyane. Mokonyana, right? And Liyema Bengu. Mahaila Konziwe. Nadine Dirks. In absentia. Okay. And then Pretty Kekana. Sinetemba Dijela. Stacey Fruit. Tobega Memelo. I'm now going to hand over to Mam Togo, and then I'll also call Professor Cheryl to come and help with the awarding process.
Thank you very much. We're going to hand your certificates Minister and Ontoko, if you would, I think, I'm trying to see what the easiest way would be. But I think if they come around, okay, so Amber, if you come up, we hand you your certificate, you pass by, you come this way, okay? You start, yes, thank you. They'll come this way, so okay. All right, so Amber, you'll come up first, thank you. And the certificates? Give the certificates here. Just one? Okay. One by one. I haven't figured this one out. Okay, the first one, Amber. Come up. Jubilee Bravombo. With us this evening. Pretty Katana. An independent panel of judges have judged. The winner is Amber Julius.
We didn't get it.
runner-up. Our second runner-up is the Emma Bengal. We also give a special mention for Stacey. Stacey, you fell outside of our age category, but we thought we should recognize you as well. Okay, Program Director. Thank you, Thank you very much, Minister.
Yes. Wow. Thank you so much. Yay, another round of applause. Young women peace builders, it's now time for dinner. You agreeing with me, ne? So this is how we're gonna do it. Right? We're gonna allow the reserved tables first, so that we try and manage traffic, right? So we're going to start with the middle table here in the center, and we're going to go to the one on, or when I'm facing this way is my left, ne?